Hey coaches, appreciate you tuning in to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about offensively, how to shrink the world for your players. This is all coming out of this week for me, which is simple week, keeping things simple. I feel like, again, this gets a bad rap from a lot of people, but the reality is, if you look at the most successful people, they do really simple things really well. And not only that, but they're able to simplify the game for those who work for them. So as a coach, for your players, or as a business manager for your workers, you're able to make things very clear and shrink what they're trying to do so they can have a laser focus on being successful. If you'd like more information, you can go to my website, fbcoachsimpson.com, or you can email me, fbcoachsimpson@gmail.com. Or I just dropped, I'm really excited about my gun TRPO or the GTO offense playbook. It's in there and I've got my whole system up on CoachTube now. So really excited about those developments. Okay, for today we're going to talk about shrinking the world for your players. In my opinion, your job as a coach is to make the game slow down for your players to be successful. And in order for that to happen, you have to shrink their focus. It can be very overwhelming depending on what level you coach. As a young kid comes up to another level, the speed of the game can sometimes overwhelm them. And when they don't know where to look, a lot of times they just freeze. So the first thing we do to shrink the world for our offensive players is make sure they understand where their eyes are going. Mainly I'm speaking to my skilled kids, although we're going to apply this to each position. We want to make sure our quarterback knows what he's reading. I don't like the, read grass and read this and read, there's a lot of intangibles in that. I like, look at that defender. And if he does this, then you do that. That shrinks the world for him. Same thing with your receivers. We're going to run a go route. I'm looking at this defender. If he doesn't give me leverage over top of him, I'm going to crank that thing down into a comeback. Okay, that's where his eyes are going. It's shrinking his world. Who cares about all this other stuff? This is where I'm looking at what I'm doing. Okay, same thing for your running backs. We're big on following pullers. So we're going to get our eyes on the puller so we can see where we're going. It shrinks the world. Less thought, quicker action. Offensive linemen. If we're blocking gap down backer, we already know our eyes are moving this direction. We're working inside. So I have shrunk their world. Ignore the noise out here and shrink the world for them with their eyes. Give them answers and technique. Give them answers and technique, okay? We're very honest with our kids. A lot of times we say, hey, physically, this may be a really tough matchup for you, but understand where the play is going, and if you're going to get beat, where you can get beat, okay? So a good example of that, if you're an offensive lineman and we're running away from you, as long as we don't let this defender go that way, we win. Okay? So we're building in simple answers for our guys to kind of shrink the world. Look, that guy's 320 pounds. You're 180. That's problems. Okay? But I'm not asking you to kill him. I'm asking you to understand that here's how you can get beat. Can you just win like this? We're going to shrink your world and give you just one thing we're asking you to do. Okay, so if you've got a kid who's seriously overmatched, you need to give them built-in answers and technique. If you go play Michael Jordan, I've been watching all that, the GOAT stuff, and you ask a dude to man up on him with no help, you're a terrible coach. Terrible. Okay, what you need to do is build in answers. Hey, can you just keep him going left and we'll give you help? Okay, can you make him shoot a three and we'll get a helper to you? So same thing in football. Build in answers to your kids, okay? Shrink the world for them, help them. And the last thing we're going to talk about is having built-in answers. Kind of goes a lot with that one, having a built-in answer. Your quarterback's having a hard time with staying in the pocket, maybe he's getting sacked or he's antsy or whatever. Well, what is your built-in answer to shrink his world? Let's roll him out of the pocket. Let's run some QB runs. Let's kind of get him going, shrink his world before we ask him to dive into the deep end of the pool. Let's shrink his world a little bit. You need to have these things on offense within each one of these. In our system, that's our entire goal. If I have a play where my quarterback can read with that pre-snap, he knows before the ball is snapped where he's going, then we've done a beautiful job. If I can have a job where he reads one guy, that's even better. You start getting into asking a 16-year-old kid to read 2 or 3 things when it's loud, that's going to be problems for you. Same thing with your offensive line. You're asking them just to manhandle a guy and not teaching them concepts or technique answers to when they're overmatched. You're going to run into a lot of problems, or telling them where their eyes go. You know, a lot of times these guys don't understand what I'm looking at. Okay, and so I think that's huge for us. A quick review: shrink the world for your kids, no matter what position. Where do their eyes go? What are they looking at? What is the thing they need to be focused on for our team to be successful? Bill Belichick made a living with the Patriots last couple of years with do your job. Well, what is your job? Shrink the world, make it easy for him. Give them answers in their technique. Give them answers when they're overmatched. Built-in answers. If this is going wrong, as a coach, here's how I'm going to help you. Okay? You think about it, again, basketball-wise, kids struggling shooting. Well, let's get them going to the rim somehow. Let's build in some answers to kind of get their confidence moving forward. Again, guys, this is a simple week. That's what we're working on, simple week. This is the offensive stuff. If you want specific stuff to what we do, you can reach out to me. I'll give you our whole system, maybe help you out a little bit along the way. fbcoachsimpson.com, fbcoachsimpson@gmail.com. If you got any questions, would love to see in the comments also maybe some of the things you guys are doing to simplify and shrink the world for your offense. Appreciate your time.